Hi guys and girls, it's Kiwi Bloke here again. We're just going for a bit of a stroll around our town, checking out some council gardens. Done a few videos on tobacco, processing tobacco, growing tobacco. If you want to check out my other videos in relation to that. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We've just called into an area here where we've spotted some wild mushrooms, I suppose you'd call it. We're thinking they're an edible variety, so we're just coming in for a bit of a closer look and to help you guys see what mushrooms are actually growing in your own council gardens, wood chip gardens, anything like that. So I'll just flip around and show you what we've spotted. So under these trees here, it looks like they have a lot of natural debris that comes off these trees, and it's just a perfect environment for mushrooms to grow. They've got a sustainable food source. These ones that we're looking at today are the wine caps or giant Strophoria. You can give them a bit of a search up on Google. But as we come in here, we can see this is an example. They're a little bit weather beaten. They've gone a bit pale from the sun, but you can see that they've got this like a burgundy brown color on the top, which is their normal color. If you see over here, there's a younger one. It's got a nice kind of burgundy cap on it. Some more over here, and we'll just pull this guy out so you can have a little look. And there's a couple of ways that you should be identifying your mushrooms, but I would suggest that you join a mushroom group. I've joined up with the New Zealand Mushroom Hunters page on Facebook, and I've learnt a heck of a lot. You can also send photos in and help them to identify what sort of mushrooms you have found. But these are a very common mushroom to find in wood chip gardens or heavy wood debris gardens around town. And I just thought I'd stop in and show you guys this. They usually will have a veil. Here's another little guy here, we'll pick him out just for... You can see that's all still closed up under there. This is still edible at this size, and you're less likely to have any bugs in there because it's still closed up. This one here, this veil's probably only been disappeared for one day, so that's going to be nice and clean. No bugs in there. You can see that the gills are kind of like a purplish shade. If we open this up a bit, it's got a nice solid cap, and you can see the gills here are kind of a purpley shade. And what you can do is you snap the stem off and put this over some baking paper with a bowl or something over it just to protect it from any breeze, and you should see the purplish coloured spores will drop out of that mushroom. You use some white baking paper or something like that, and you'll get a good representation of the colour of spores that's coming out of there. And for a King Strophoria, or wine cap we call it, it should be like a purplish colour spores. These things will grow quite large like field mushrooms, but do join up with New Zealand mushroom growers, mushroom hunters I should say. And they've got some really intelligent guys on there which will help you identify the mushrooms that you're finding. There's a pretty, not a bad sized mushroom, this one here, and if we have a look underneath, you've got that purple tinge to the gills. You've still got the veil still attached on the stem here, which is another indicator of the King Strophoria. And they've got a solid flesh stem. You can see that that's a really solid stem, it's not hollow or anything like that. So yeah, those are my few indicators that I use. Is the color of the cap should be, it can be a dark burgundy color, or it can go to like a purpley brown sort of color. And if you look at these guys over here that have been out in the sun, they're really quite bleached, but you can still see kind of the indications of that burgundy cap. This guy here has been taken apart by the slugs, but he's still got that burgundy cap color. And they're just everywhere here, guys. Like, there's definitely a feed for a family just in this one little garden. Over here we've got some different varieties growing. These are not wine caps, they are not burgundy tops, they are yellow, some toxic looking things. And just over here we've got, this is a real pearler, this one. It's got a nice colour. Nice and steady. So that's it, guys, we're going to leave you with that for now. That's your wine cap King Strophoria, just growing in a public garden right here by the main road. We are in Bay of Plenty, New Zealand, North Island. And we are now in mid-October. And we're just kind of starting to hit the 20 degrees occasionally, so it's, you know, still early spring. And after a heavy downpour, these mushrooms, you'll get a whole nother, every time you get a couple of days of heavy rain, you'll just get a whole nother crop coming up in this garden. We're just going to mosey on a little bit, and we've spotted another garden up the way a little bit. There's gardens for miles in here, so we're going to go and have a look up there a bit further. We'll see you soon. Okay guys, we've come across another patch here where these mushrooms do not look so well. They've been here for ages and they're all starting to die. But that's no bother. So you can't really identify this mushroom. But the amount of times that I have foraged these mushrooms, I would know that this is a King Strophoria or a wine cap. And what I've done myself is taken this part of the mushroom. You can see all the mycelium in there. There's another big chunk here. And I boiled up a bucket of wood chip, boil it up to get rid of any contamination or any other myceliums, anything growing, fungi growing in there. And then I just put this in a preserving jar about 1 inch down from the top surface of the jar in the wood chips, and that mycelium will take off and grow in your wood chips, and then you can introduce it to your own garden. You would just cut that bit off there like that and just chuck that in a jar with some boiled wood chips. Boil them for about 20 minutes or so, you know, to make sure that they get really well heated, good heat treatment to kill off any other fungi that's growing in there. And then just put something like this in the wood chips, just 1 inch or 2 underneath the surface, and put a bit of Glad wrap over the top of the jar to hold the condensation in, and just leave a little bit of the Glad wrap open so it can breathe. I keep mine under the bed actually, where it was quite cool, and that jar colonized with the mycelium pretty quickly, and then I introduced it to my garden and it worked perfect. So even on a dead patch like this, guys, you can just get that mycelium off the bottom of those rotten mushrooms, and it'll still grow once you add it to some dab wood chips. Okay guys, that's our little mushroom experience for today. We might head out to the bush and see if we can find some other varieties. Check out your council gardens around town, people, because there are this wine cap is quite common around at this time of the year, so get into it. Make sure you always verify your mushrooms with a group like New Zealand Mushroom Hunters. Do not eat anything that you don't know 100%, and always cook your mushrooms. You don't know what's on them. Cat pee, dog pee. Here's some other little mushrooms here. They are not what we're looking for, but they're cute. They're pretty cute. I'm guessing that these are a toxic variety. I did used to know the name of them, but I can't remember now, but they're not edible. Okay guys, enjoy.